prestige levels.
So I can keep popping those XP boosters and feel the difference now.
Yeah.
Cool. After that is gameplay. Respawned Phoenixes will have new weakened animation postures and FX to convey they deal less damage after respawning.
Yeah, so they deal less damage when they respawn. They now are kind of like grayscaled out a little bit, so they look a little bit weaker and like almost more sickly.
Okay.
But yeah.
Makes some sense, just for clarity. And then on to bug fixes. Stone Cutting Sword, we fix an issue where players would not receive a stack if they dealt a killing blow. And also one for Athena. We fixed an error on the K screen that would cause her passage to have no description.
Yep.
So now she's got a description. And now it's on to balance. Anything exciting in balance this week?
There's a lot of exciting things, actually, I think. I think a lot of people, we spoiled Kernanos Raijin, but I think there's some other stuff here that people really like.
We're going to start off the top of the shop in items, and it's going to be a relic first of all. Bracer of Undoing is the top of the list, and it's getting a small nerf, decreasing the health and mana restored from 50. Actually, it's not small, 10%, so quite a bit. Restored from 50% of recent damage taken to 40%, and the same can be said for Bracer of Undoing the upgrade. They will both be 40%.
Yeah,
right.
So this is mainly...
Okay, they nerfed Bracer a little bit.
People didn't really mess around with it too much.
They wait.
Good, restoring that much health really quickly.
Why did they just now only nerf it that much?
Of people picking
What
it up.
the fuck, stream?
There's really two situations that kind of break it, which are the early game aggression where both players...
Why don't they just
fight
take it out of the game?
The one with Bracer been doing because those fights happen very quickly.
You are my favorite streamer, love you,
And then late game, as players have a lot more health, a lot more tankiness, the amount of health restored like greatly outweighs something like Meditate. It's still very selfish, and there's counters to anti-heal, but it was a little bit too hard to counter. So toning it down to 40% should bring those kind of cases a bit more into line. The item overall should feel a bit more counterable.
And there's also still anti-heal in the game.
Yes, and you can buy anti-heal.
Struggling with Bracer.
You hear that, guys? You can get anti-heal.
All picks. So
it's not the item. You can get anti-heal. What up, jokes?
Next on the list is Atalanta's Bow. We're going to increase the duration of movement speed buff from 2 to 3 seconds. So it's only a 1 second difference, but
I said to do that.
Well, this item
has said to do that.
An interesting application, which is I'm boxing, and because I have increased movement speed, I can box more effectively than maybe the other hunter or maybe the other assassin who's I'm kind of chasing. But since you're slowed for so long after a basic attack, you only really have like a second to 0.5 seconds to really utilize the movement speed increase. Sure. By increasing it to 3 seconds, you have like a 2 second window where you're not being slowed by your movement penalty. So you can actually use this effect to kind of juke, to dodge, to catch up.
Okay, after that is Demonic Grip is the next thing on the list here. Demonic Grip, going to be a couple of adjustments. We're going to decrease the gold from 2300 to 2150.
Cheaper.
We're going to decrease the magical power from 65 to
never mind.
We're going to increase the attack speed from 15% to 30%. So a bit of a change in its identity.
This is a pretty big shift for the item. When we redid
an attack speed item, I like it.
To the rings lost attack speed, and then we did a few other adjustments that limited the attack speed options for mages. And then Demonic Grip also went down to 15%. And so if you really wanted to build an attack speed mage, it was kind of difficult to do because you had Toxic and Witchblade, which are, especially Toxic Blade is a really good offensive item, but it's still utility based, right? Like you still can't quite get the damage you want out of it.
I'm
and so
branding
we're making Demonic Grip something that you can actually pick up really effectively, give you a ton of attack speed, and especially for characters like Freya, where they have built-in base damage, attack speed is much more valuable than that power.
Okay, well, we'll see how that works out with Demonic Grip. Next, after that, is the Hastened Ring. We've increased the duration of the haste buff from 4 seconds to 6 seconds, so 2 second increase.
Okay, still
shit. Internal cooldown from 30 seconds to 25 seconds.
Still not that good.
That window up of burst, right?
So 4 seconds and 3 second cooldown is a bit inconsistent, right? You'd pop it, you'd only have a certain amount of window to do your damage, and then you had to wait 3 seconds. At 6 and 25, this should just be way more consistent. When you proc it, you have a longer window to do things, and it'll come up more often, so if you accidentally use it in a situation you don't want, you don't have to wait too long to get it back up.
Okay.
And the big thing here is, especially at 6 seconds, you'll really feel this effect, but it's not just
I think even if it's anything higher, it might actually be broken.
Someone and you have a small window,
but it's still bad right now.
Penalty reduction. It's a full 6 second window of you can miss basic attacks and still go, and so players will really feel that kind of difference between Hastened Katana and now Hastened Ring, where you can actually gas pedal the whole time even if you're missing attacks. So 4 seconds it was harder to notice that because you're generally in range landing all your auto attacks. At 6 you can actually chase really effectively.
So it really is a 6 second gas pedal that could come into use. Okay, we'll see how that works out. For the mages, obviously, more than likely, at least some of them will really enjoy that. And that's it for the items. It's on to gods next.
Yep.
We start things off with
what a
break. Order looks good. I'm just checking that. Anher is the first one on the list. Anher is going to get 2 buffs by the looks of it. First of all, Disperse. We're increasing the damage done from 50 to 210 scale. It's going to be 70 to 230. And Desert Fury, the cooldown has been reduced from 90 seconds to 70.
Pretty
That's
cool.
a big buff.
That is a pretty big buff. He has been struggling.
Okay.
So at the top in competitive, he's been a very limited pick, if at all. And casuals, his stats are struggling a little bit. And so
It's
we're
still pretty
trying to give him some love,
bad,
and we
but,
focus on
but a
giving him
little
more
interesting.
offensive-oriented power.
Okay.
Leaping in and doing the whole pillar stun combo with the leap is going to be more rewarding because it'll deal more damage, as well as the ultimate being on lower cooldown means that you can use it more aggressively for just like poke plays.
Yeah.
Or if you want to turn on someone who's used a CC effect on you, you can pop this effect, turn on them, and be really aggressive with that ultimate. So really encouraging his aggressive style of play and rewarding that, and giving him an extra tool so that he can actually deal with the other hunters a bit better.
It's going to bump him up, that's for sure. But bumping someone down, Kurdanos, who's been announced he was going to get some nerfs, and here's a little look at some of the nerfs. Shifter of Seasons. We've decreased the physical power scaling of Summer Heat from 10% to 5%. Not only that, the Horn Charge, we've decreased the base damage. It was 90 to 290. It's now going to be 70 to 290, so early game focus there.
Okay.
And the Wild Hunt, the cooldown has been increased by 10 seconds from 90
Ooh,
seconds.
Kurdanos got fucking hit, boys. Oh my
His main
god.
strengths is really that he has a lot of tools in his kit, right? He has the slow, lifesteal, bonus damage. He has the shred.
Yep.
He has a movement skill. He has kind of a ranged poke, and he has his ultimate. And for a character that many tools, he has to have some form of downsides, or his tools can't be as strong as other tools that are available. And so the Summer Heat was giving him a bit too much scaling late game. The Horn Charge, especially with AA canceling, where someone could auto attack, charge into someone at early levels, and cancel and auto attack again, was really, really potent at low levels. And then his ultimate, which is this non-diminishing return CC being on a 90-second cooldown, so he could match other cooldowns of other hunters and other main 90-second ultimates. Being at 100% means that those tools aren't quite as good as the other tools that other characters have. So they'll still have his unique utility, but they won't be quite as potent.
Okay, well, next on the list is going to be Freya, and there's been a lot of talk about Freya just lately and how she's dead. Well, that itemization should help her, but maybe these changes will too. The General, we've increased the base attack speed of Freya from 0.95 to 1, and not only that, the pulse damage, we've increased the base damage of pulse. It used to be 20 to 60, it's now going to be 30 to 70, and then when you factor that in, I guess with the other changes, we're still looking at Freya and trying to improve her slowly, but not letting her go crazy, hopefully.
Yeah, so these changes are very targeted to help her with itemization problems that she was having. We removed a lot of items that she really liked, and so adding Demonic Grip back at 30%, she's a character that scales best off attack speed, and so getting that extra 30% bump is really important. Hasten Ring being a longer duration, especially matching her stim duration, is going to be a really important thing for her, and then adding her base attack speed and giving the pulse damage means that attack speed items are going to scale better on her because she works, like the attack speed works off the base value, and then the pulse damage
they're trying so hard to make Freya
so
like
if she gets,
just
like, an early
viable,
attack speed item, she's
just
gonna get
very
2 pulse or
viable.
2 off. Those pulses are going to get harder. If she's throwing out 5 or 6
And I-
to a mini wave, that's now a 50 to 60
She
damage
might be.
increase on her ability
I
to
don't
damage
think that
the
new
blade.
Hasten
So these
Fatalis
all
bullshit,
things
whatever,
combined should help
the
Freya
mage one's
feel
good
a lot
enough.
better to play.
Okay.
What's up, Assassin?
Fraser having a look. We'll see if there's any further down the line for her. But it's Osiris is next up, and a lot of people have been asking for some changes. We've got one change here this week, which is the Judgment Tether. We've removed the bonus 5% damage reduction per second when a target was tethered. This removes up to 20% damage reduction at maximum duration. Just so you know, a lot of people don't really notice that know it really exists and don't realize it is actually making an impact the whole time.
Yeah, so this is a very targeted change towards the high-level play. We've looked at Osiris across all game modes. In normals, in high ranked, he's doing okay, if not a little bit underwhelming.
Okay.
At a competitive level, though, he is being very high valued. He is very successful, and so we're looking really closely to make changes towards that high end without hurting him too much in the casual area. And one was Judgment Tether, right? You have this ability that players could pop, and immediately during like a team fight, if the enemy team is engaging and you pop this, everyone's immediately doing way less damage. And as the fight continues, it's going to ramp up to 35, 40, 45, 50%. And so his ability to do that, especially in the late game, is going to be a lot mitigated. And so this should tone down his late game utility from being someone that like normally wants to chainsaw people and get damage off, and should be more in like kind of the frontline tanky, but he shouldn't get the additional reward of also being able to mitigate up to like 50% damage from the entire enemy team. So this should be targeted at his high-end competitive stats. We're going to continue watching him because the meta is shifting. We're seeing kind of a lot of early talks of different strategies, and there could be some other characters coming into the soul lane.
That's actually
out a little bit. There might be some other characters that
kind of ridiculous.
Being really effective in late game team fights.
His late game is not going to be very good now. What the fuck?
We've not done that many changes because the
why did they just remove it? That's crazy.
Mid-season, so we're still waiting for a lot of things to come through.
Yeah, and there's other things kind of influencing like how good Osiris is right now. Sun Wukong's recent rise, where people are really valuing him. People really valuing Gladiator's Shield. Bellona being a little bit weaker now. Watching all those things shake out is really why we keep a close eye on Osiris, and this is why this change is only targeted at the top end play. Okay, well, another change that's coming through is some buffs for our boy Raijin. Yes, he does exist still. And Raijin, we're slowly working towards
trying to find the right sweet spot for him here. This is the first iteration, which is going to be charged tempo. We've increased the cooldown reduction from 1 second to 2 seconds. The percussive storm will now pierce through enemy gods. So still deal damage. You can't be body blocks in the wave as well. Plus, it's a lot of damage in a team fight potentially. And Taiko drums. We've actually lowered the self-slow. It used to be 40%. It's going to be only 20% now.
Yeah.
So what's the main goals with all this?
So first, why he was reworked. He was a frustrating character. He was hard to counter, and he could really, really effectively burst people, and it was hard to deal with him. So in the rework, we did a lot of tuning to make sure that things were a little bit less frustrating. The skill shot component of the 1 is a bit easier to land. The 2 is something that is more of a dot damage now, so you don't feel that instant burst. The ultimate has the damage reduced on the CC, so the actual choice between CC and damage is a lot clearer. And then after we made those adjustments, we can now look at his kit as it currently is, watch the stats that we've gathered from the first round of changes that people play with him. And the big things are we're improving his utility. We're making the skills that we changed feel a bit better. So Charge Tempo is his new passive. It's now going to reduce 2 seconds, which is going to have a huge impact on how many spells he's casting in a game. The 1 now Pierces, which is not only good for early wave clear, but it's also good for making team fights where you can actually hit multiple gods with this. Or if you Raiju someone and they are being body blocked by the Guardian.
Thank you for the $25 14-month race.
And then the ultimate
let's go.
Less slow. This is a big complaint we got from high-end players where they're like, I can pop my ultimate in a team fight, but then I'm just sitting duck because I'm at
And yeah, we can talk. I gotta call Verizon after this. We can do it after that.
With his long range, or he can actually kind of juke around his team and avoid things a bit better.
Okay.
So all targeted towards his utility, and we're going to continue to watch him as these changes kind of play out.
And the final change in this week's patch notes is the Morrigan. It's going to be a nerf for the Morrigan. It's going to be to her confusion, her stealth. We're decreasing the stealth duration. It was 4 to 8 seconds as you rank it up. It's now going to be 4 to 6 seconds as you rank it up. And the mana cost has been adjusted too. It was 70 at all ranks. It's now going to be 60 through 80.
Yes, so if you watched Valencia DreamHack, you probably saw Morrigan stealth, run at the enemy team, not get something, run away, 2 seconds later, stealth, run at the enemy team.
That's all they did was adjust the mana
All of a sudden pick off a character as everyone had been trying to deal with her. And that 8-second duration is mainly why that's allowed to happen. She can be stealth for so long, she can stealth so far away from the team that the enemy team doesn't even...
Yeah, so wait, why are we changing just the mana cost?
So by reducing it to 6 seconds, her ability to do that...
Oh, they did reduce the time. Okay.
Yeah, her range is shorter, her effective range of the stealth is shorter.
So the mana cost and the duration...
And then the increased mana cost, if she's not successfully doing something off her stealth, it's going to be more and more punishing as those kind of attempts happen. And this is really a high-level change for her. We've kind of watched her over the entire season, and really it was towards the last half of SPL and then into Valencia DreamHack where people suddenly really figured out how to play
her. It's a nice nerf for sure.
Ultimate really effectively, and then learn this late-game niche of her being this really good assassin for squishy characters. And so it's off that kind of play that this change is being made, because this doesn't affect too much like how casual players are playing her. They're still trying to utilize the ultimate effectively. They're trying to use her abilities effectively. High level, they have that mastered, and this was a bit too frustrating and hard to counter.
Well, pop-up, pleasure for the balance section as always. We'll see you
That's
on the backside in a second, as we'll have a little look over towards the community right now, and then come back for Artio. Be ready for Artio and the skins after this, but first of all, the community girls are standing by. Savannah and Amanda are both standing by right now. Ladies, how you doing?
Hi, we're good. Hey. How are you?
Hey, I'm not too bad, thank you. First of all, Savvy, box, console, yeah? They've got the patch, right?
We did. We patched 4.13 today, and there are 2 things that I want to note. We got the notifications log today, so during a match, players will receive updates on unlocked awards, items, clan updates, all kinds of things. And I want to mention that if you compare the PC mid-season notes to the console mid-season notes, you'll notice that a lot of the Project Olympus changes aren't on console. And that's because a lot of the PC updates were geared towards what console already had. I actually wrote a blog about that. You can go to Smite Game. I did.
Do you have any followers on that?
I mean, maybe a few, but it's on SmiteGame.com.
I don't know what the fuck's going on, but they hype up the dumbest shit.
You're supposed to read a blog. I mean, you just have to. That's by choice. Amanda, this weekend, we've got things going on, right?
Well, now that console has their mid-season patch as of today, we're going to be doing a prestige weekend for the first time ever this weekend. So you can earn 2 times experience, you can start growing your levels, and, you know, everybody wants to get that 160 and start bragging. So this is your start.
The climb.
So it's double experience this weekend.
Yep,
okay, you have to group up or anything like that, because I don't like grouping with people.
No,
play alone.
You don't even have to have friends.
Good, because I don't have any of those either. That's also helpful. Ladies, pleasure as always. Thank you so much for your time.
Who was that?
And,
Mr. Fugu, thank you for the 2 months. Demunk, thank you for the 7. Demunk, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it, brother. Complexity, thank you for the sub. Perfectly Damaged, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it, guys. And here we go for the new god.
AJ and Fishman are alongside me, as per usual, the 3 amigos, as I like to call them now.
All right.
As I just
give me a good god.
Them now. now. We're
Fuck
going
this
with
up.
Made that up.
We're
just
going
now.
with it
I
now.
like it though.
But the three amigos are here to go through the skins with you. But before we do that, Harris Expo is on its way. And at Harris Expo, we're going to have Smite, as well as Paladins, Hand of the Gods on its way, and maybe even more surprises early. And right now, you can save 25%. The
Save
early
25%,
bird discount
boys.
for a limited time. There's
Get
the
it
website
done.
to go to, harrisexpo.com. You guys going?
Oh yeah.
You know it.
We've all got to go see that guy who now has to get a tattoo of old Bacchus, right?
Oh yeah. I think that was Trelly.
Is that the only
Trelly.
reason?
Yeah.
He's got to get an old back.
Trelly's been streaming a lot. So
He said if there was,
Was it a tweet?
I forget how
He
many
tweeted it, yeah, he's like, if we
retweets
get
he
enough
wanted,
retweets,
but
I'll get a
he
tattoo
got twice
at
that
HRX.
amount. So
Oh, no. So he's got to get two.
he's
Yeah.
gonna bail.
He's got to get
looking
two
at
back
you.
skins,
Calling
right?
you out.
I'm looking at you.
Well, let's go into the skins then and go through what we have this week. Crystalline Terror Tier 2. You saw the card out a little bit earlier.
Crystalline.
Crystalline, yeah.
That's what I'd say.
Crystalline.
You guys were like
Crystalline sounds like a
line,
cooking-
lean,
Crystalline.
and I was like neither.
Sounds like a stripper name.
Crystalline.
What's your name?
Chuck has different frames of
Crystalline.
references.
To be fair, she's thick enough for that, but that's for sure. Anyway, that's the main thing. And it looks like she's actually stolen gems from the gem chest to stick all over, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
I don't even realize that.
I'm surprised they
Smite-
haven't
it's
done
like
that.
Smite lore
yet.
bling, you know?
It's like she's a walking advertisement for us of like, hey, I should buy some gems too.
Yeah, I mean, this was a natural way to go with her, with the earthiness, the rocks. So what's up next? Like crystals. So threw a little bit of extra on there, and especially in the passive, right, Chuck? We get even some bigger
Yeah,
crystal
yeah.
spikes,
When the
which
passive
we'll
gets
see.
triggered, the
Also, because this is only a
the
tier
gems
2 as well,
bust out.
right?
Yeah,
So-
Tier two,
yeah.
yes,
I mean,
but-
we've really been.
Colors are
we talked
good.
about that a lot earlier.
The like idea of
I
gems, if
really
they would
like
actually
the,
go with
the
that, would be
colors.
really smart.
Oh yeah, Pon is doing
Yeah,
it
see,
now.
there you
yeah.
go.
So now
Good
you
job,
get
Pon.
these bigger spikes.
I like the
That was a
hair.
good shot, Pon. That's some
was.
excellent camera
He's
work.
learning.
Yeah, he's got to do it quick too.
He's getting there eventually.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna do it
So-
again just
so
to
with the
prove
little
it
darker
wasn't a
color
fluke.
scheme and the bigger spikes, she looks badass.
Yeah, it's a cool tier 2.
I would not want to come on with the bad pickup line against this girl.
Oh,
That would
she'll,
be.
she'll crush you.
She will. Yeah.
It would be crushing.
Yeah.
I would
Sounds
never.
like a good one.
I would never recover. It'd be over.
Done. Well, there's a look at the Terror Tier 2
All right, cool.
We'll move straight along to Cucullin's Tier 2 skin,
Cucullin.
which is Bruiser Cucullin. And
Why
he's
not
got
give him a
lovely
good
moustache.
skin?
All right, so wait. Let me touch on this.
Go on.
So this is apparently from John Bridges, who is our concept lead,
Okay.
was telling us that this is an authentic Celtic facial hair design.
Wow.
I trust
And
him.
I
He does
was
a lot of
like,
research.
dude, he looks like Macho Man. I don't know. And he was like, but it's legit. It's legit. And then we put it on the monster, and I was like, hell yeah.
On the monster. Well,
Look at that.
here's a little look at
Yeah.
him in-game with his design. That moustache
Okay.
is regal. It's regal. It looks well taken care of. He's well groomed, that's
Sure,
for sure.
yeah, he's got
Plus,
some oil,
for
some
all
wax,
you
some-
guys who like, he's got some different tattoos. For all you guys who like your handsome Smite heroes, now you got no shirt. It's a high tier 2 value.
yeah.
New shirt, manly mustache.
Typical high
new
res. Never put
tattoos.
clothes on anything these days.
That whole six-pack is visible.
Hey, Artio has lots of clothes. All right.
That's
What's up,
Charlie.
Bakarin?
She's very tastefully
I want
done.
to see how good the moustache
Yes,
is. Yeah, that's the
transform.
key.
The
When he goes
berserk stash.
Into the berserk stash, yeah.
I actually like it much better on the monster.
The anger stash.
That's what sold. Yeah, Chuck. That's what sold Chuck on the
Yeah.
idea. Is just the monster.
That's such a cool
Tier 2
transformation,
as
dude.
well, guys, as you can tell. Like,
Yeah.
there's no ability changes, but he does look fancy with that stash.
He does look
Maybe we just like every Cucullin skin now.
Anyone ever wonder why his right arm is so
Every
much
skin
bigger
has a one.
than his left arm?
I mean,
There's
I
loads of
do like
stashes.
patterns.
Is that a
and
question
consistency,
anyone asked
but-
themselves?
Yeah.
I just want to give
They're
the best
kind
ones to the
of
best guys. That's fine.
Convenient.
Well, there's the tier 2s, and I like tier 2s, but what I'm really about is all the tier 3s.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what it's all about. So Morrigan's the first one I've got here for you, which is SPF 666 Morrigan, which is clearly a summer-themed skin.
It is because Summer of Smite. Okay, so
Wait,
this
what?
one too. There was some contention.
Oh,
It was a
on
bit
this
tricky.
skin.
Was he?
By the way, we have to show the recall.
Okay.
So the idea, right? We always do at least one bathing suit skin,
Yeah.
right, in Summer of Smite.
That's
and then
true.
when we saw this bathing suit, we were doing research with the upside down pentagram straps. I was like, oh yes.
By research, you just go into like Hot Topic or
It's
something
called
and just
Google.
like.
You go
Sorry.
to Google.
I
and
wasn't
then
sure if you
you
actually
type
went
in
goth bathing
Google's
suit.
hot topic.
He
okay?
Googled hot topic.
goth bathing suits,
Gotcha.
right?
We
And
Google
then
some weird
it
stuff at
happens.
work. We
Yeah,
do. We
there's
do.
a lot
It's part of the job.
Googling.
If you just walked behind our desks on a random time,
So-
all bets are off.
The story for this skin for me
Okay.
was like Morrigan's friends made her go to the beach, right?
Gotcha.
And then she was like, "Oh, really? Fine. I do have a bathing suit for this."
She hates the beach. She just happens to.
Oh,
have this really
damn.
specific
But
Auto
yeah,
attack.
we-
two
Fuck the
pieces
recall.
we
just
made
in
the
case.
Auto attack.
The raven into a seagull.
That's
No,
awesome.
go all the
As
way
if
back.
Morgan is at the beach and there's no ravens available, and she's like, "Oh God, what is this? Seagull, go away!"
So she gets attacked by the seagull.
Why are we staring at her ass and backing? Yes, that auto attack looks dope. That's such a fucking good auto attack.
Theme. Morgan, you know, she's got her abilities are cool, but she
I like
doesn't
the
have a lot of
colors.
effects, really. You know.
Sure.
So we wanted to kind of give them a unique, beachy. I will find a way to have fun.
I like the colors a lot.
I collaborated with Tina a bit on this one. Sweet. But it turned out really well.
And there's the stealth version as per usual. And then the ultimate. Well,
His right arm is bigger because he's looking at this new skin.
It's kind of tricky to do that, I guess.
It's like, yeah.
I don't even thought about that until just then. I'm like, I wonder if the ult does do anything weird. Like,
Man,
it's
my
like,
skin turned out
it'll
so nice.
Probably
It's
change
odor
the
into a-
floor. There's a floor marker underneath her that has colors and
what you could have done is
timer.
put them all in the bathing suit. You put Odin in the bathing suit.
Bit more realistic to
Yeah,
put.
that's what we need to do is skin 90 gods, Hindu.
I'm sorry, I don't
It's
think
not
like
that much work, Chuck.
Listen,
It's only like all year.
I
For a
think like
tier
a
3,
fan
that
as
seems
well.
very reasonable
okay?
amount of effort.
It'd be like more expensive than tier 5. Tier 6 confirmed.
So
See,
there's.
I got a bust on him now after that time. He just went crazy on AJ when he was all sweaty.
Yeah.
He was way sweatier than I
It was
was,
hot.
man. I was keeping it cool.
I tell you what, it was hot. But to be fair, I lost 3 pounds in Spain.
Wow.
I'm not even joking. I
All
came
on
back and I'd
stream.
lost 3 pounds, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna do that.
Super
patch
hot,
notes
standing all
every-
day, no food.
Patch notes in Brazil next week is the plan. That's well, 2 weeks time. Okay, we've got a
Hun,
voice pack, so we
you
should have a quick
really
listen. in.
unequip the jump stamp when we do this.
No.
It's clouding our message.
Voice pack, please, Pom Pom.
already.
Okay, okay. All right.
Woohoo. Woohoo. You savage. Cool. Yeah, I'm awesome. Quit kicking sand on me or else. Sharks just love to eat losers like you. My bad. Thought I saw a beach whale. We never understood, Tanny. Why would you let the sun roast you to a crisp for fun? I'm not going swimming in that. The ocean is like a big fish toilet. Oh, damn it. Keep your vitamin D off me. Ha, ha, ha.
Well done, Tina.
I like how it's just Morgan, only you get some
Right.
like less serious voice lines.
All
I'm
right.
gonna play the skin a lot.
Well, I'm
If I
sure.
can take
Not a
credit
bad
from
skin.
Cucullen.
I'm sure a few people will. Next up, though, it's a god that we don't see too much of, but maybe with the skin, he'll get revitalized once again. It is the Freaky Tiki Wash. So the card art looks
Oh,
you give me
shit.
thumbs up off air.
Oh,
here,
yeah.
Chuck.
The
That-
Show
that-
me.
Pigs are a
is
thing.
certainly
Is
involved.
He throws.
Look at his
pigs, right?
giant head.
Throw pigs.
Oh, fuck, I pressed the wrong button. I didn't want a weak peek. I wanted to
No,
fucking
he
week 5 had this
throws a
shit.
pineapple. He sends out
Then the pig
roasted pig zombies.
Oh my!
Look at how
Oh, yeah,
awesome
because
that
his
mask
charm
came
is
out.
actually a
Yeah,
different
that is a
entity
dope
than-
mask.
Than the pig finds it afterwards.
He looks dope. He looks really good.
That mask is
Yeah, this is an idea that's
awesome.
just been bouncing around for a really long time, and we're
Oh, it's a
we gotta wait for
whole
next summer.
fucking like helmet.
I want to see his real face though. It feels like I would never really see his face.
He doesn't have a face.
that
It's just-
the skin wouldn't be cool, you were wrong.
It is a fucking
Who said
pineapple.
it
What
would-
the hell?
Did I say that? I might have said that,
Wait,
but I'm sorry.
It was dark.
I apologize now.
I feel like someone's house is
I
gonna
didn't even
explode
say
tonight.
Oh!
it was AJ. I mean, I don't
Really
even really
intense.
Is this-
remember, but
That is awesome.
a
Like
lot
a
of people
pineapple?
didn't like it.
Those
Look
are
at
the
the
pigs.
pi- the
The
pigs.
roasting pigs.
So see, look at the tasty waves.
Blow them up. Blow them up.
Don't blow up the pig.
Oh yeah, this is dope as fuck.
Fire. And yeah, fiery. We went with a little bit of fiery.
They got
too.
cooked.
The pigs run on their back hoofs into battle.
And then they lay
Trotters, I should
down
say.
on some
How else do they
little
get there?
some
Yeah.
little banana leaves.
It's a nice garnish.
Come over.
They have little
Nice range.
fucking
And
what's
then
they
he
called?
Can eat them
Little
'cause
skirts
they're
on.
Delicious.
That's a good point. He's just eating
I like how
pig
they
to
sizzle
regen.
as they
Yeah.
land.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the eating them is like more thematic than the base skin.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
That is
great.
true. That is true. And then the ultimate, what's this going to be? Oh, that's cool.
They're like
Tiki
flaming
heads.
tiki heads.
Yeah.
Oh,
On a
that's
field
actually dope.
of green.
Turn
I
the
like
camera
it.
around.
Are you trying
He's trying to
kill the
crash.
frame rate?
Of course he is. He's going to try and slow-mo it or something.
No way,
straight
this is the
after.
most optimized ability in Smite.
We're running it on a dank machine, I'm sure. So it's
Of
like,
course we are.
It didn't even
Of course
stutter.
we are.
Well, in case
dank
in case the
machine.
skin wasn't flavorful enough, we're adding some salt. So
Hey, Fish
Oh,
is
they
on the
see the
ball
mark.
today. Just like
Oh,
me.
Tiki Mark. Oh, that's great.
That looks sharp.
That is pretty awesome. And then obviously it has a voice pack too, so she would have a nice little listen to that.
Yes!
Solid.
You're delicious. So awesome. I know, brother. I'm amazing. I guard this place, you weird-looking beast. Soon you will be a roast pig. Emma, you want to know why I didn't invite the pig to the luau? Because he was such a bore.
Yeah, okay, Tina.
Welcome, welcome. It's time for you to get laid. Or flowers.
So is he French Polynesian?
He's something, yeah. You know how accurate we are with our accents.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, believe me, I've heard plenty of the English
They're
ones
always
now.
perfect.
Always on the point, that's for sure. Next up is a skin that I'm looking forward to see what it looks like in-game. Critical dot damage Naja is going to be the next one.
Oh, shit.
Along the same sort of theme as the ones we've done previously, like
Runny
Jabalonke and
XT and
Mercury.
Hun Bots.
I love this card
I'm
art.
not
This
bad.
pose is
Unbat,
awesome.
whatever.
Like the concept team really found an awesome spot here.
It looks really cool in the card art. Let's see what it looks like in game 2. And it's as
Oh,
much as
damn.
It's one of the
Sash is
coolest
dope.
effects we have, too.
Oh, this is such. Finally, Ninja didn't get some bullshit
Those,
skin.
his rings that he rides on are just like perfect.
That's
like
dope.
Tron cycle wheels. It's just like it just worked together well. Am I not allowed to say that?
I mean, you can.
Digital game motorcycle wheels.
Yes, that's better. Keep it together, AJ.
I like how subtle Pawn is with the techie skin, and it doesn't even
Techie.
matter. Throw
I
it.
said the wrong T word. My bad.
That's gotta hurt.
I'm just checking. I'm pretty sure this is part of the season ticket, this one, right?
Ears ringing yet?
I'm
Yeah, it
not
is.
sure.
Season ticket rewards.
Okay,
Limited
season-
critical dot damage Naja skin. So you can get this as part of the season ticket. If you know anything about the season ticket,
Part
you get to find out
of
how much
the
it is.
season
As we
ticket.
go through.
I like it.
Oh, that sounds nice.
That is a dope
Yeah.
skin.
One of the most fun things about these skins are the voice packs.
Oh,
We've
Oh,
had
my
a
bad,
lot
Sash.
of fun.
Fun. Don't do that one again.
He was sashing on no cooldown, so he broke it.
You're done now.
Ooh, it's cool. Oh,
Yo,
just out of
I missed.
skill shot.
You got juked by an Odin bot.
That was stood still.
See, and then in gameplay, somebody would be like, "Dude, I hit that guy. He didn't even beads, didn't go up."
When I'm back home,
They'd
man.
send me an ink.
John Wayne,
What was you
congrats,
saying
brother.
on the back? I think you just
Don't
had
do
his
anything
call.
bad out
That's
there.
what the difference was.
I assumed he blamed latency. That's
Yeah,
It was
well,
really that he missed
As
by like
always.
a quarter of an
There
inch.
we go. Well, next up then, we should listen to the voice pack for this skin too. You've seen all the abilities and obviously the changing of the colours. Well, let's hear the voice pack.
Yahoo! Yahoo! You're insane! Hardcore! Yeah, I'm a big deal. Attack middle lane. Okay, you can't be serious with those graphics, can you? Don't worry, I ain't a threat. Yet. What if life was just a video game and deja vus are just checkpoints?
Deep.
Video games ruin my life.
mind blown.
Good thing I have a bajillion extra lives.
Thank you, Pon. That's the look at the Naja skin. We've still got more to go, so we need to move along nice and
jump,
quick.
too.
keep them moving. Keep them moving.
Midnight Dove Awelix.
Community hype.
Oh, it's the
Was this a
community.
community
This
suggested
was
one? or?
the community submitted. Yeah. This
Good
was
job,
God,
community.
Oreo.
God was
Oreo.
voted, and then community
Okay.
artists.
Show me it in game.
and then this was the top vote.
And Tina actually worked higher than
Not what I was
usual to
expecting,
coordinate with the
but
community for
I'm
input
feeling
on
it.
the voice pack,
Oh,
including
really?
making Suku talk, which is a high fan request.
Really?
Yes.
Look who's going to speak.
Yes.
That's what I hear.
Good talk.
This could be
So I
terrible.
see
This could be
Tina made this
glorious.
information
shit.
advance request to more than one of
Oh, okay. That's
Well,
a
yeah,
pretty
you
sick
forget
fucking
stuff
Suku,
sometimes,
dude.
so,
That's true. 'cause
it's
I was,
looking pretty
I was
sweet.
maybe gonna forget.
I mean, they have. Good
I
taste.
really like the effect on the cat.
Look at that ass.
You gotta
looks-
really
Look at
see
that
around.
ass.
Yeah, I can see on the tail. That's
Talking
for
about
sure.
the green part or the gold part?
The green part has kind of this iridescent shimmeriness
Yeah.
when the cat moves.
Which unfortunately we can't move while we
we're
camera
cammering, yeah.
rove.
Move,
But-
Pon Pon, for the love of God. No, you can't see him because we can't.
Oh my gosh, I like this skin.
Yeah, just put the cat away and then we'll have a little close
the
up.
weapon
This is a good skin,
Yeah,
bro.
that turned
Oh,
out
it's
really
got
nice.
the buff on it right now too.
Nice, pretty looking skin. I like the little wings she's got too.
Good
the little
view, Pod.
Everyone's
Yeah, the wings,
favorite
that's what we're
Wheelix
looking at was the wings.
animation.
Listen, I'm a married man. I only made one comment. I'm not making a second. I still want to go somewhere home tonight. That's the main thing.
You got like a ration.
Oh, your wife doesn't watch the stream.
People will tweet her, though, that's for sure. It's not about work. There's always a way.
I know.
Wait, did I just hear Suka speak? I
Yeah,
did.
he's got a nice deep.
My lady, how can I help?
Yeah.
Nice comforting voice.
That's kind of cool. Okay.
I hope I don't explode when we land.
Spoiler alert.
Will be done. As you wish.
Nice.
Pod hit and all. I've never seen that.
Well,
He hit two?
Those Odin bots juice, not good enough.
Oh, you missed.
you still had a grudge match from the Naja round, so.
He's
I
just
did.
showing the buff. It's nice. That's a nice effect. Yeah,
And
that's
the
cool.
noise too.
Yeah, it's sweet. It turned
That's
out
pretty
really
cool. Suka at the
I
bottom.
believe it's cool to show. I like how it's like a moon that's like slowly eclipsing.
Yeah, and it's you know, it's not just a traditional. It was kind of angel themed originally, but it's just not that normal angel. It's got a little bit of its own flair, unique flair to it, which is I think what draw the community votes to it. So just it turned out really well. So props to everyone involved in the voting process. It's a really cool skin.
Well, good job.
You're gonna end up laying at the end of the video. Big fucking beefy arm.
You are ready for your halo. Heavenly. I am the light that conquers all. Attack middle lane. You don't want to see my.
I wonder how many people will cosplay this new skin.
Hold
The
back,
world.
Zuku. We don't want to end them too soon.
Shake that ass, boy.
I'm not going to moon you. I'm going to smite you.
That's Tina.
Did they just call me Lunatic? Because I'm Luna Thick.
Oh wow!
Why?
Community suggested line.
I don't know. That sounds like Tina too, though.
Probably.
Someone tweeted that.
Okay.
All right, if you tweeted that,
Community.
It's
I'm
your
just
fault.
saying.
Some people,
Oh my
I think
God.
she was
Noticed.
taking suggestions on Twitter. So that's
Next up, and the final new skin coming here, other than the mastery skin to this next god, is Dr. Mad Love Cupid. The evil scientist, as we decided earlier in Pom Pom, because of the nuclear weaponry in the background. But for me, I still think he could be good.
Oh yeah, look at his face. That's a good face. That's
looks
a
good
face
to me.
good people make.
It reminds me, to be fair, that face reminds me of you quite a bit. It does have your face.
Yeah, which is not a
This
good
doesn't
person face.
affect
You-
your
if you did the
argument.
hairstyle, you could exactly.
I mean, the code name was
Oh my gosh.
he's evil.
Is he
This skin is so good.
What was
That was one of the major draws to the skin.
What was the distribution strategy for this one?
Season ticket bundle.
It's in the season ticket.
Oh, so this is,
Oh my
this, is
God.
this year's equivalent of like the Scientist Sylvanas or
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
No. Modern
Oh, is it?
modern
This
Nox
skin
and
is
Vanilla.
fucking
But when you
okay.
buy the
awesome.
you also
Yes.
get the skin
Okay.
immediately.
I'm just reading that to make sure now that we get that
Definitely
message in
doesn't-
right.
This is a
lasers.
this is a
sound
tier.
effects rip. No new sound effects yet. Sorry, those
Oh.
usually come in last.
Yeah,
What?
just it happens sometimes.
That jetpack is sweet.
Oh,
though.
he's got the
Oh,
voice back.
colors.
Yeah,
Look
so this
at
is a
it.
tier 4. We did a Cupid
Oh
has
my
so
God.
many animation sets. It's crazy. But
Yeah.
so we added a whole jetpack laser gun set for Cupid just for this guy who we just
That's cool.
Oh, that's pretty
That's
awesome.
That's sweet. I haven't seen that detail.
So yeah, this concept has actually been around for a long time, and we've always really wanted to kind of do it. So, and it's a neat color scheme for
Ooh,
Cupid that
I
he
like the
doesn't have
charge up.
before. So yeah,
So apologies for the,
Throw the
time-
heel.
old sound effects. Those will be
We'll get 'em
replaced to be a lot more pew-pewy by the time he ships.
What is Share the Love like? I missed Share the Love. Did I miss it?
Oh no, we didn't do it
Where's
yet.
the hearts? Why have we not seen the hearts? I want to know what they are.
Ron's heartless.
Oh.
I just wasn't sure what we were
Yes, high res, you did a good job. I'm so proud of you.
Pots.
Yeah.
yeah.
Gotta be potions there.
If I must. If I must.
Erlenmeyer flasks, technically.
Okay.
Bring back that
With your
engineering
I
information
think
that I
in
don't
my
use
email
anymore.
where I sent out my crappy drawing of those, I referred to them as science beakers.
I was about to say, I'd call them a
Technical
beaker too,
term.
They're called
pretty much what we
Erlenmeyer flasks.
Now
Yes,
this
that's-
comes with a voice pack as per usual, so let's have a listen to the voice pack before we look at his new mastery skins.
Woohoo! We have chemistry, I guess. Fantastic! Ooh, victory is mine! My particle beam will disintegrate you. Inferior beings will bow before me. You'd make a perfect test subject for my death ray. Interesting. My formulas don't even contain sodium, so how can you be so salty?
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. I like
You're
that.
not part
Solid.
of the solution. You are part of the precipitate.
I actually really liked the chemistry one.
That's a very specific chemistry joke.
Sure.
I did like the salt joke. I really like the sodium one. Was very, very
All
good.
good. Solid.
Very, very good. And now we've also got has mastery updates as well.
Fuck mastery. Show me the new god.
And we'll probably go
The
back to have a little look.
unfinished card art.
It is unfinished right now.
It's just still in progress, right, Chuck?
Is it really? Chuck? Hello?
don't
Did
know
I
the
sell you
answer to
out?
this question.
I'm sorry.
You did sell me out to a question I don't have an answer to.
I thought you said something. We'll make sure.
Look, Cupid's face isn't gold, you guys.
It's not.
Yay.
And it looks better. That's
There's
the
a
first
little
time, to be fair,
baby
like,
Cupid.
normally we have an issue with card art looking better than in game. Well, this way is the other way around, in my opinion. I'm just going to say that now.
The
Okay?
card art will look fantastic by the time
I
it's
do
I
really
hope
like
so.
the
I-
like sniper wink with his little tiny bow. That's
Yeah.
kind of a cool.
But hey,
Now,
it
also,
looks better in game.
when you can't really see, so the eyes also get colorized based on the outfit, which is a
nice.
nice touch from Greg.
one of the advantages of having giant eyes.
It's also because you always stare Cupid in the face and the eyes directly, so you can know exactly what kind of skill level he is based off how deep into the masteries he's gone.
Good Cupids are scary, man.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
Also rare.
Yes,
Yeah,
they are.
maybe they are.
At least when they're on my
Yeah, I
team,
like
that's
I
for
like
sure.
these color
Oh,
schemes
I
a
like
lot.
those wings look really good like that. I like it.
All these look great. I'm sorry.
When
Cupid
three
Cupids.
really bad
I'm not- I
players
didn't want to somehow,
talk to
just shut
Hindu
about that, but I was like,
about
to be fair, that
what's
doesn't
good
look
and bad and
But it's
rare in players.
It happens, you know. We're working.
Feels
right up to
bad,
the finish
man.
line on every patch.
this anymore.
Okay, fine.
I didn't notice the eye on the first skin, so I'm glad you pointed that out. That's
Yeah,
a
the
cool
eyes
detail.
look, especially
Bro,
legendary
I just
eyes
realized
are
Chuck reminds me of the guy from Grandma's Boy.
With my
the
super
weird
soft
developer.
transition.
Yeah.
Apologies for the coffee.
That was amazing, Fishman. Thank you.
Well, that's it for skins. That's it for balance. But we still have a
what do we
god coming out.
Oh yeah, we do, don't we?
We do.
That's always my
It's a pretty big
favorite. That's
deal.
cool.
Is it a girl? Is it a bear? Or is it both of them? Artio is on the way.
Winning or losing doesn't matter. We all shall return to nature in the end.
I feel like I'm about to get a massage, you guys.
Yeah, AJ's giving it to you.
So
over here.
I'm feeling.
AJ's floating in the sensory
want-
deprivation
I'm an
tank.
animated card art.
I'll
Look
get
at
the
me.
massage with you. You get the bear. I'll take Artio herself.
I've
okay?
made that
And-
trade before. It's important to
take
call.
What if she transforms into the bear, like in the middle?
I don't know.
Anyway, let's go. Sorry.
There's a
I
lot of
just-
things that could be said then. I'm just not going to go down that
I
route.
just murdered AJ.
Even for me,
He's
it's
not ready.
dangerous. Even for me. So,
Something I hadn't thought of yet.
Artio,
honestly.
Celtic god, first of all, clearly by, the kilt. That gave it away to me. first of
Clearly
all.
by her voice.
No, just the kilt. I've not heard a voice yet. Well, I mean,
Maybe
I guess
she's
it
played
did.
it there,
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, a little bit.
Return to
Where were
nature
ya?
in the end.
Listen, accents don't work anymore.
Chuck
But
actually did the voice pack.
clearly Celtic. AJ, what's her lore? Where's she come from?
So
Who is
one of the
Artio?
fun things about Artio is she does not have much official lore.
Okay.
Yeah, really, like looking back, doing some research, there's not a lot. She's goddess of bears. She generally was associated with kind of harvest and bounty and food from nature and kind of the nature's gifts to humans. And there's not much about her, so we just really like the fact that she was associated with bears. We had this idea for a bear transforming god for a long time. Wanted to really
As
bring
long
that
as I've
back.
been here.
And also, we were just really wanting to get more stance changers in the game. So
Okay.
we saw this opportunity for a new Celtic goddess and really cool lore that fits it. So we got the bear, we got the druid, and those are going to be her two stances. And she's going to work more like Hel or Uller in that her ability 4 is not an ultimate. It is
switch
change stance. And
at
she'll
will.
change between the bear and the druid. And then she'll have 3 abilities that change
Okay.
depending on the stance.
So,
Okay.
Chuck, with this then, I mean, this is a bit of a different one for you guys because normally you have a lot of backstory and things you have to, go towards
Yeah,
in
yeah.
terms of design.
When AJ says a fun thing about her is that she has no lore, that's fun for us.
Because it gives us space to play.
We have less, things
You
boxing
have
us
to do.
in, right?
Right.
So then we were like,
Constraints.
she can transform into a bear. We wanted the bear transformation for so long.
So was the main things that you guys were looking for in her design then that like you had fun with and were able to do because you weren't like constricted?
Probably
well,
the bear.
Yeah, mainly the bear.
Well, her weapon, her armor, you know.
Yeah, there was definitely some interesting things like figuring out how to make her feel feminine, but also kind of giving her enough layers of clothing that we really kind of got the Guardian feel. And then also we didn't want her whacking people with the staff, so her in-hand is kind of an interesting way to just...
Slow your roll.
He's
there,
doing the
Pong.
both. He's doing both.
too
The
excited,
pan
that's
around both.
You know what?
He
We
went a
should
little early,
start
maybe.
out.
It is
with
cool.
That is a
Has the
weird
same,
looking
like, hair
fucking
on it.
bear,
Like,
dude.
That was
the
another
druid
thing
has,
that I'm
which
sure
is-
Chuck was going to go into. But we're really
Why
being
is the
careful
bear
about what
shaped
elements
like
trans
every
were
hound
caused
type
from
fucking
her
dog from
both
every
forms, so
video
you can
game?
see there was a connection. This is not just some random bear. This is not just some random druid. We want to have some connections there.
But
so.
you can put a kill on a bear, so you chose not to. That makes sense.
We did not choose to do that.
There were definitely some versions where the bear had some accoutrement, but it was like putting a jacket on your
Doesn't really look
dog
like
or
a bear,
whatever.
but
It's just-
okay.
Yeah.
It was
I'll
a
go with
great
it.
idea.
Yeah. I've been there. I've been there with my dog. I don't like
So
that.
her in-hand,
Feel bad
instead
for
of
the
her doing like a whack, she kind of does this magical spiral that she can zap people with.
And it's great because Guardian
All right.
basics are magical, and this one really feels
Wait,
magical.
are those auto
Actually, the
attack?
Guardian.
She is a Guardian.
We didn't
She's-
get onto
she is
that
a
bit just
Guardian.
yet, but I guess, yeah, Guardian. Or was that confirmed already?
Guardian, yes.
I thought
I've
Chuck was talking
mentioned
about
that,
how
yes, Guardian.
The
Okay.
clothing was to help convey it.
So a
Bear
Guardian
also.
and a bear. We see the autos in both the forms. Passive, AJ. I guess
That's
I'm
an
gonna
auto
key
for
this
shit.
First of all, what is
Yes.
the passive for
So,
Artio?
just before we get going a little bit, just to mention that those UI elements are not quite done yet. Those will be implemented soon. I've actually already seen them. They'll be in the probably in the PTS build even, and
Right,
they
okay.
are her icons are awesome, and her passive meter is really cool too. So her passive meter actually doesn't have a connection directly to her passive, but it's something we wanted to do on stance changers for a long time.
Okay.
Which, although we can't see it here, she's going to have a passive meter that conveys the cooldowns of her other stance.
Huh.
This is going to let you know when it's optimal for you to switch back. So instead of guessing or trying to keep track or some kind of feeling it out, you will actually be able to see, oh, my bear dash is back up off cooldown now. I can switch and use it.
Okay.
Which is going to be really
Whereas
good.
dash.
But then her actual passive, which doesn't require a meter, is a debuff that applies to all of her abilities. So anytime she hits an enemy god with an ability, she's going to apply a stacking protection debuff to them.
Right.
And one of the things we learned when we first started designing this god as kind of an intro to her kit is that a stance switching guardian that has 6 abilities is just inherently going to feel really bruisery. They have so many abilities they can use all the time. They're going to be in the combat. They're going to be fighting a lot. So she has a lot of parts in her kit you'll see where we have
So she's
kind
an
of
aggressive
large stacking
guardian.
buffs that require her to stay in combat and be landing many successful abilities to really see the full potential. It's really to encourage her to stay and brawl for long periods of time.
Okay, and that debuff is, what does that exactly do?
So it's called Decompose, her passive, and is anytime she hits an enemy god with an ability, she applies a stack of percent protection reduction, both protections.
Okay, so it's not just one, it's both.
It's both, and it's percent based.
How
So
much?
It stacks up to 8 times, I believe, at like 3% per stack. So it's really cool.
Damn.
For the game. It translates really well.
Well, let's start going for the abilities then. We're staying in
Damn.
human form, the human abilities first before we go into bear form. I think is probably the best way here.
Well, wait, hold on. And the
go on.
idea with that, right, is that basically she's going to stay in the combat to keep fighting, but she's mostly fighting to set up everyone else to
More
be able
damage.
to do more damage.
So she's more of a damage dealer here as a guardian, like more like a frontline bruise that's there to shred.
Definitely, and the fact that she doesn't have an ult means she doesn't have that like huge burst.
Sure.
So you get instead you get a lot more sustained disruption and sustained damage. She's not
Okay.
just gonna Bacchus flop, jump in, and do 100% in 1 second. She's much more sustained.
Okay, well, first ability then is called Energy Surge in Druid form, and Fishman talk me through what this is going to do.
Sure. So as we were talking about, she is a classical stance switcher. So one of the things we want to do is we want to keep the targeters consistent between the two stances.
Sure.
So you can kind of use one to set up the other one and know that they're going to be in the appropriate range and kind of line it up.
Gotcha.
So her first one is a cone attack, and what she's going to do is we're playing up the like life essence theme with her rather than like plants and vines and physical manifestations of nature. We're instead trying to do this like spiritual, like I'm pulling your life essence. So what she's going to do is she's going to hit her enemies, and then her allies that are within 55 of those enemies, which is basic attack range, are going to get heals for each enemy she hits,
Oh, really?
as well as herself.
Okay, that's different.
She's also going to get those heals.
So she
That's
has
a heal. Doesn't hit very hard.
Accidentally setting up these rows of Odins.
Yeah, he did a very good job here. Pon, can you go to the left side and hit just the one Odin? So actually, you'll see that when you hit the god, it sends out the wisps to every, including Artio and all allies. And there's there's 3 from that Odin. But when he hits both Odins, you get sets from both Odins. So everyone gets double healed in that situation. So it can scale up. So this is a team heal, but only triggerable for hitting enemy gods. You cannot use it on waves or jungles. You have to hit enemy gods.
Only gods.
And the teammates have to be in proximity to the hit.
This is our newest iteration of a true combat heal.
Okay. Now with this as well, because somebody will damage to creeps and things like that, but just doesn't get the heal. Right?
It's definitely good just for lane clear, just for dealing damage, but you won't get the heal unless you hit it.
So that's the Energy Surge and Druid form and the number 1 ability. The second ability is called Entangling Vines. AJ, I'm guessing it's something to do with vines.
Yes, so you know, we really went life force with her, but we had to have a little nature. So the vines, and one thing we really wanted to do with Guardians is bring back a cripple.
Okay.
We really, Guardians are good at lockdown.
Cripple?
And we don't have that many with notable
Oh,
cripples.
no.
One of them is probably Ares, but Artio is the new premier cripple guardian. She has this persistent area she summons around her, so it moves with her.
Okay.
And that is a persistent cripple area.
That's awesome.
Yeah, really cool kind of energy.
That is fucking awesome.
The whole package on this one.
Now, I know we don't want to go into the bear form quickly just yet, because I'm just asking you questions. But like,
that
can
is
I
sick.
change to the bear form? Can I keep that form?
Yes, you can. Pon can go ahead and demonstrate.
Yeah.
That
so
is
this is
awesome.
Strong right as you engage. I even like to activate it a little before I engage and then charge into people. Really prevents them from escaping. And it's also, you can use it defensively. You can like see a Sobek dashing at you and activate it, and he'll hit it and get canceled out of it because when you dash into a cripple. So
that's
like
gonna be so awesome for outplays.
Very strong, but does no damage.
Okay.
This ability does not do her 2 in either form
That's
does no
good.
damage. Only her 1 and 3s.
But it also reduces that damage, correct?
It also gives a power debuff, power debuff to enemies inside.
Okay.
So more of a secondary effect, a way of her to do a little bit of soft peel. So say you have like a Baka just shredding, you can at least pop that near him, reduces out his damage output. But
and then he also has to be scared as to whether or not he might suddenly need to leave and be unable
right,
to.
he won't be able to leave, yes.
Okay, well, there's a little look at the Entangling Vines. The third ability is called Life Tap, so more sustained by the sounds of it, Fish.
Sure. So again, we're playing into this Essence theme. Her 1 is going to heal herself and allies. Her 3, she's going to channel it. If she hits an enemy, it's going to do several things. One of those things, it's going to heal herself. You can see the wisps again traveling back to her, delivering
what?
It's also damaging the enemy. What you may not be seeing from this range is that it's also slowing
That is
them.
sick.
And if she hits them for all 5 ticks of it, they wind up rooted at the end. And if you think about it, that slow and that root are going to combine very well with what we just saw.
That is awesome.
Escape.
So it feels like very free roaming to be able to move and channel that all the way through. Can be silenced, I guess, out of that ability. Knocked up and stuff like that will cancel that out.
She's not immune to anything during
Okay.
And if she lines it up, she can actually hit both Odins.
She's a ginger soul stealer.
So they're not
I like
You
it.
can hit as many enemies as you want. And this is a really cool kind of combo ability where you have to keep it on someone, kind of a tractor beam.
Sure.
Yep.
You have to keep it on a moving target, and they'll be swerving and juking, and you keep it on them the entire time for that bonus at the end. It's kind of a slow 2 route. And this is really her.
I think that
only
3 will
way
get changed to like
engage from
4
range.
second,
Okay.
or like
So
a
this is
shorter
the way to
fucking
set it.
4
It
tick.
becomes a root if you connect the whole thing, and it heals her. No teammate heals on that.
Plebs will never land that whole 3.
Because he heals for days.
It's a strong slow.
Okay.
Yes.
And does the slow just increase as it goes on, or is
It
it
does.
just
It's
flat?
stacking.
Oh,
slow.
interesting.
It stacks all the way up to the root.
Maybe not then.
That's the third ability in Druid. I guess we should move to the bear form then.
Yeah. So we can talk about ability 4, which turns her into the bear.
Do we need to say more than it just turns into a bear? Or?
We do.
more.
Oh, there's more to it?
Yeah, all.
But wait, there's more.
Okay.
But wait. So all stance changers have the ability 4, but you have to rank it up. So we put things on that ability
point.
to encourage you to put points into it. And this is plays into what I was talking about as far as her kind of general design and her passive theme. So her 4 shapeshift.
Right.
When you activate it, transforms between her bear stance and druid stance. When you put ranks into it, you get a passive buff, which is a stacking buff, which is anytime she hits an ability, so similar to her passive, she needs to hit enemies with abilities. She gets movement speed and MP5.
Okay.
And this is specifically designed.
Keeps her in combat, technically.
It has 4-second duration and 8 stacks, which, as you'll notice, 8 stacks is actually a lot of uses of the ability. You can only get 1 stack of her passive per ability use.
Okay.
So what this really does is encourages her to stay in combat, to time her abilities one after another, stance switch, rotate through them, switch back, you really have to go through more than a whole rotation to fully stack it. But if you do, you're going to notice that she's going to have a really strong base movement speed, and she's
Yeah,
gonna
that would
start
be a
getting her
lot of
mana back
movement speed.
really quickly. Really helps in the late game, and it's one thing you won't notice if you're just jumping into a fight and engaging real quick and bailing, but it's something you'll really feel when you're during long fights.
So that movement speed per stack, is that just a flat amount, or is that a percent? Or?
It's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3% per stack.
Right, that's what I was saying, because it's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. I wasn't sure if that was percent or like actual like.
It's percent.
Raw.
Yeah, it's percent. We always do movement speed buffs in percent.
Pawn here is showing us with the 3 that actually as you multi-hit with that, you're actually getting multiple stacks of that passive.
Are you right now?
Counting up. Yeah, it's maxed at 8.
Well, you're getting
No,
one.
see, he hit 2 targets with all of the 3s, and it's only 1. Now it's only 1 stack of the 4 per ability.
Yeah, he's right.
But the passive, actually, you can multi-stack.
right.
It's the passive. The decompose on enemies, you can. The life tap actually gives you 5 stacks of decompose. So it's also a pretty strong protection shred.
Okay, so she's
All
got
right, show me the
protection
bear,
shred
come on.
passive, and then that druid ultimate gives a movement speed and MP5 and using multiple abilities over and over again. Which
Successfully.
Successfully that connect. Yeah, just not spamming them. Well, that's it for the ult, I guess, and then it's on to ability 1, which is Mole
bear.
Prey.
Mole Prey, that's right.
Fish.
So what we're going to do here, as we're a bear, we're going to lose this life essence tapping that we had as a druid, and instead we're going to get as a double swipe.
Okay. I mean, it's classic bear, right?
So,
like
and if you pay attention to the effects of the animation, they're actually they have a travel time like the Chang'e sweep, and they're going to damage in that direction. There's actually an interesting trade-off because one comes from the right and one comes from the left.
Yeah.
If you put it on one edge, like
you might miss.
Well, no, you're going to hit him either way, but if you put him on one edge, there's more of a gap for the first hit and less of a gap towards the second one.
Gotcha.
But if you do it the other way, then there's more of a gap in between. So either way, but as long as they're in the cone, you'll hit them both times for double the damage.
As long as it's
1.5, I think, total damage.
It is double.
Is it?
It's each hit hits the same amount.
And that's just raw damage. There's nothing else to that.
This
just
is
raw
her
damage.
highest damaging ability for sure.
It hits pretty
Base
hard.
is like
Even after a
270.
couple nerfs.
Force in the playtest for sure.
Before we go to the second ability as well, quick question. I'm expecting the answer's fine, but Shapeshift, you can get that from level 1, right? You can start with it, or do you need to actually hit level 5 to be able to transform?
No, at level 1, she will have a point in, or she will have no points in Shapeshift, but be able to transform between stances. But she will not get any bonuses from the passive effects of Shapeshift until you put 1 point.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure of that because it's like one of those questions that sometimes can happen where you're like, hey, actually, you've got to hit 5 before you can become a bear. So.
Which gives her a little bit of strength at level 1 because she's got the 2 abilities she can take into. So.
Yeah, she gets 2 abilities at level 1, makes her early game pretty strong.
Okay, well, Entanglement Vines was a human form for ability 2. What's Ferocious Roar? AJ, I'm guessing it's very simple.
Well, it is. And you know what she's kind of lacking right now is just some quick hard CC. So this is just a quick AoE stun.
Oh, an AoE stun.
AoE stun. Now these.
Holy moly! How long's the AoE stun for? That's
Is this a jungle guardian?
Up from 1.
Bro.
Oh, jeez.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
1.4 seconds.
1.4, yeah. I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that. It was more like I was
It's
like,
alright.
how does that go?
And
Hold up.
Self-protection buff afterwards that she can
Hold
also
up.
if she switches
Is
stances.
this a jungle
So she's got
guardian?
self-protection buff still on her.
Not looking like a normal guardian.
The roar was really meant to be a very small radius around her, and these might look a little big on screen, and especially the crippling
But in
vines.
gameplay, when everyone's running around,
It is actually pretty tough to get that. It's very tough to get multiple targets on it. For a single target, yeah, you can hit that, but hitting multiple people with it can be quite tricky. So it's a big trade-off in that it's a very small area. She really needs to get in position before she can
And
use it
again,
effectively.
also no damage.
Also, no damage on Ferocious Roar. Correct.
That is true. She doesn't have that many damaging abilities.
Go play this right now.
So
And
unless
then
the 3 is
that's
crazy,
the
I don't think it's
second
going to be a jungle
ability.
guardian.
There's
But we're going to
first
try.
ability, which is the heavy charge in bear form.
Sure. So when we had the Druid 3, what we had was an ability to engage from distance by locking them down with a root. And this is kind of the antithesis
And
of that
line-shaped.
approach. Sure, line-shaped. What we're going to do here is we're going to dash into them, and we are going to do very reasonable damage, and we're also going to slow targets that we've hit.
That's a slow dash
So it
with
doesn't do
long
anything,
as
it just
fuck.
hits them and slows them.
Pass
Slows
through.
them. Yep.
Pass through
okay.
enemies, damage and
So you
slows.
can
Bear's
cancel
got
it.
places to be. It's going to slow you
That's a
down.
good point.
You can
Cancel
cancel out if you want.
Oh,
if
you
want to stay in
can't?
range.
Oh, you can
the
cancel
camera
it. Okay,
jiggle.
yeah.
Camera shake.
So you can cancel that out as well. So if I go 2 into 3 in bear form,
Interesting.
2 into human form, into bear, into 3 in bear form.
Into 2.
It's pretty slow, but he has no boots.
And then wail on him with the claws.
On top of your enemies, and they're crippled and stunned.
Gotcha. So you can charge them, cripple them, then stun them, then set them up for the damage. Okay, I get the idea behind it.
Yeah, she has a really cool like skill set flow in the order of operations you can do. Like you said, the Druid 2 into Bear 3 into Bear 2 is a pretty standard setup. If you're having trouble closing the gap on people, starting with Druid 3 is generally the way to do it, and you try to queue up an ally to hit off that route. And once you're already in combat, you start throwing out the 1s on both stances, and she's just really fun to play. Very, very brawlery. Honestly, I think we've seen more success with her in solo lane and even jungle.
You're gonna dash in, you're gonna fucking stun to set up your teammate, and then you're gonna cripple fucking use all your damage during that time to try to kill somebody.
Having more abilities early game really affected that. And that's one thing we found out really early in her design is a Guardian with 6 abilities. To make it feel like fair Guardian damage, if all 6 deal damage, they would have to do insanely low damage. It feels just like feels way too weak. So that's why we immediately knew that we need to make some abilities not do damage and have much more strong utility. And that's really what is the mark of this Guardian. And even we'll see that in Hell and Uller. They have stims and Hell has the cleanse and debuff, because having 6 damaging abilities early game is just insane, and the numbers would have to be crazy low. So she's very strong early game because of that.
I wonder how the jungle clear is.
Stance switchers, she's a little mana thirsty.
Mana thirsty and a little bit higher skill cap, just because you have so many things going on.
Sure, I can see that. I mean, the skill cap's going to be there for playing it, but also playing against it, it's going to take a while for everybody to learn out. Oh, wait a second.
They just confirmed her as a jungler, but they don't get to confirm anything. They aren't good at the game.
Want to keep her away from
their playtests don't mean shit.
I would definitely say give her a couple.
They go into their playtest and make Aphrodite a fucking jungler.
Have 1 or 2 combos that you figure out the first game, but then the more you play, the more flexible her kit will become, and it starts to feel real good.
Okay, is the voice pack working for this today?
I believe so. Pon said there was some.
I am interested to see this as a fucking jungler, dude.
To how Artio was. Does the bear speak in bear form?
No, she sounds the same.
I was just checking.
So her abilities, she makes more bear noises, but her speaking voice, I like to think that she's kind of talking, godly through an animal. She sounds the same.
I was going for animal VGS.
You were?
Bear form.
Just all roars the whole time.
That would not surprise me.
Like everyone's favorite Kamazot's voice pack.
Everyone. And the Rajin gorilla.
All right, let's have a listen then.
Unleash the beast. Wonderful. All things flow through me. Attack left lane. Attack right lane. Energy is not simply created. It is transferred. And I will take yours. Everything will be all right once the pain has gone away. Question. What type of bear is best? False. Me. I won't be raiding any picnic baskets. I'm a goddess.
I like that laugh animation.
Some of those jokes were unbearable.
Oh, no feeling it.
See, I tried to avoid making any jokes like that in the actual voice pack. So I know that's going to be a hotly debated topic, whether or not.
She sounds very Celtic, and then she says,
the NASCAR, I thought the same thing. I was like, well, I'll talk after.
We're running out of ways to say woohoo. I guess you could have just said woohoo, but I'm happy with the...
On the base skin, you can get away with it.
Slide
well, she does have her alternate skin as well for you guys.
Owen.
We mixed it up a little bit for her on there. And she has this kind of a little bit more... just harsh realist attitude. She's not going to be a coddling nature god. She doesn't just going to give you everything. She knows that you got to work for what you want, and that nature is just as much death as it is life. And you just got to.
in the woods, so you got to be a realist.
She's a realist.
AJ was getting deep. You're making Bearwoods poop jokes.
Be real. Real.
It would be a high-res show if somebody did that.
Oh yeah.
Can you show us the? Hold on. The other skin, the skin that comes with it. I believe I could see that too. The card recolor. I should say, sorry, the recolor. I can't remember the name of what it was. It was like the alternate card. That's the Dead Mother.
Yes.
That bear looks like it's disappointed in me for not recycling.
I like those colors. I like the colors.
Only you could prevent.
Those are good colors.
I'm not saving the planet.
That's good.
We've got a commitment to recolor the bear to match the hair color.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Commitment. That's what I like to hear.
Commitment.
Playing with a little willow there.
So she's got a little bit more of a white fur cape and golden hair, and then a golden bear.
Making it
she
pop.
should use her staff to clean her shoe off.
Just knocking some dirt loose, Oh, so many bear skin ideas. I know the community's gonna become. Ooh, golden bear.
That's nice. And she keeps the hair ties in it.
I don't know which one I like better. I like the blue on that one.
Recolor a
Just
little
like the
bit
card art.
more value, you know.
Yeah, it's
I actually like him
golden
better in
hair.
person. That's cool.
It's great.
Looking good, looking good. A nice, lovely looking bear to maul you in your side lanes, in your jungles. We'll see where he ends up getting. Well,
Yeah,
she
I mean,
ends up getting
I've been
played, I
playing
should
her a
say.
lot in support and playtesting too, so and she can do that just fine. But
Okay. Well, I'm really excited about this, and I think that's all we've got, is it not?
I think that's
I
it.
think
That's
that's
all
all
I
we've
have.
got this week. So
Pretty
we've got
hype patch.
balance changes, rank changes, and now new god going to be unleashed, and this should be PTS. That's the next question that everybody always cares about.
It's probably
When
up
is
right now,
PTS
right?
ready?
As soon as we
That's
can.
Chris's call. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Follow
you know,
him on Twitter.
Sometimes it's up. It's like ready to go now. Sometimes we
and
don't
he-
know.
All right,
Friday.
that's the end of the patch notes, boys and
Hopefully tonight,
girls.
Maybe tomorrow.
Come on,
We're